Did you know that in the world of Meerkat, a mother might kill her own grandchildren just to protect her power?
Hey, I'm Sabah, and on this channel we uncovered the hidden side of nature, the stories that are beautiful on the surface but shocking underneath, because what looks cute isn't always innocent.
Picture this. The sun is barely up over the Kalahari desert. The sand is still cold, and standing bolt upright, like tiny furry soldiers, a group of meerkats face the morning light, warming their bellies, scanning the horizon. They look impossibly cute, almost harmless, but underneath that adorable exterior, there is a society running on strict rules, power plays, fierce loyalty, and one of the most fascinating reproductive systems in the entire animal kingdom. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on meerkat life, from courtship and mating, all the way to how these incredible creatures raise their young as a community. This is not just a cute animal video. This is a full deep dive into one of nature's most sophisticated social structures. So if you are ready, let's get into it. Before we even talk about babies and courtship, we need to understand the world meerkats live in, because it shapes absolutely everything about how they breed. Meerkats live in groups called mobs or clans. These aren't casual hangout groups. These are highly structured societies, usually made up of anywhere between 5 and 30 individuals, though some large mobs can push even further than that. Every single member of the clan has a role. Every single member south their place, and at the very top of that hierarchy, the dominant pair, one alpha female and one alpha male. Now here is where it gets really interesting. In meerkat society, breeding is not a free-for-all. It is not like every adult just gets to have babies whenever they feel like it. No, the dominant female holds what is essentially a biological monopoly on reproduction within the group. She is the one who breeds. She is the one who has pups, and she uses every tool available to her: behavioral intimidation, hormonal suppression, and sometimes outright aggression, to make sure that the other females in the group do not do the same. This phenomenon is called reproductive suppression, and it is absolutely fascinating. Subordinate females, even healthy, fully mature adults, will often fail to ovulate or fall pregnant simply because of a social stress created by the dominant female's presence and behavior. The alpha female's dominance is so powerful that it can literally alter the hormonal landscape of the females around her. The dominant male, meanwhile, holds the primary mating rights. Other males in the group, brothers, sons, younger rivals, generally do not get to reproduce with the group's females. They contribute in other ways, which we will get to in a moment. This system might sound harsh, but it works. By concentrating reproduction in one pair, the group can coordinate resources, care, and attention much more efficiently. Everyone's energy goes toward raising one set of pups at a time, rather than being split across multiple litters from multiple mothers. It is centralized, strategic, and ruthlessly effective. All right, so the dominant female is in season. The dominant male knows it, and now begins one of nature's more charming and persistent courtship rituals. Meerkat courtship is not elaborate by animal kingdom standards. You are not going to see them doing complex dances or building ornate structures to impress a mate, like some birds do. Meerkat courtship is practical. It is direct, and it gets the job done. The dominant male will begin following the female closely. And when I say closely, I mean closely, shadowing her movements, staying right on her heels as she forages and moves around the territory. This persistent attention is his primary courtship strategy. During this phase, he engages in a lot of sniffing, checking her scent to monitor where she is in her reproductive cycle. And grooming, social grooming in meerkats, is deeply meaningful. It reinforces bonds, communicates trust, and establishes intimacy. By grooming the female attentively during this period, the male is essentially saying, "I am here. I am committed. I am your partner." Now, and this is important, the female does not always make it easy for him. She may initially act aggressively. She might snap at him, push him away, or simply refuse his advances at first. This is not necessarily a rejection. It is part of the process. Female meerkats can be choosy, even within an established dominant pairing. She needs to be in the right physical and hormonal moment before she will accept mating. The male's job during this phase is patience. He stays close. He keeps grooming. He keeps following. And eventually, when the female becomes receptive, the dynamic shifts. When the female becomes fully receptive, mating takes place, and it is not a single event. Meerkat pairs will mate multiple times over a short window, which increases the likelihood of successful fertilization. This behavior, called polyandrous mating in some contexts, ensures that when the opportunity arises, it is not wasted. One detail worth noting: meerkats prefer to mate in or near their burrows. This makes perfect sense from a survival standpoint. The Kalahari is full of predators, eagles, jackals, cobras, and more. Mating leaves animals distracted and vulnerable. Doing it close to the safety of a burrow is not just practical, it is smart. Once mating is complete, the clock starts ticking on one of the most remarkable social processes in the animal world: pregnancy, birth, and cooperative pup rearing within the meerkat mob. Meerkat gestation, the pregnancy period, lasts approximately 11 weeks, or somewhere between 70 and 77 days. Compared to many mammals, that is relatively quick. But those 11 weeks are critical, and the group adjusts around them. The pregnant female begins to subtly shift her behavior. She reduces risky activities. She might spend less time foraging in exposed areas, pull back slightly from aggressive confrontations, and position herself more carefully within the group's movements. Her body is doing an enormous amount of work, and instinct guides her to protect that process. What is remarkable is that she does not have to go through this alone. The other members of the clan, the helpers, begin to rally around her. Group members will guard more attentively during this period, posting sentinels more reliably, calling out alarm signals with extra vigilance. The whole mob, in a sense, shifts into a protective gear around the coming birth. This is the beauty of meerkat society. It is not just about one animal surviving. It is about the whole group succeeding together. And that cooperative instinct is about to kick into the highest possible gear. After those 11 weeks, the moment arrives. The dominant female retreats underground, deep into the burrow system that the clan calls home, and gives birth in the dark, cool safety of the tunnels below. Meerkat burrow systems are extraordinary structures. They are multi-entrance, multi-tunnel networks that can go surprisingly deep into the ground. They provide protection from the desert heat, shelter from predators, and, critically, a safe, hidden space for new life to begin. The litter size typically ranges from 2 to 5 pups. And when those pups are born, they are nothing like the alert, sun-warmed animals we see above ground. Newborn meerkat pups are blind, hairless or very sparsely furred, and completely dependent on their mother and their group. They cannot regulate their own body temperature. They cannot see. They cannot move meaningfully on their own. They are, in every possible way, fragile. But they are born into a community that is built to protect them, and that changes everything. For the first 2 to 3 weeks of a pup's life, everything happens underground. The mother stays in the burrow, nursing her litter, keeping them warm, and barely emerging herself. The pups feed, sleep, and grow in the sheltered darkness of the den. But here is what makes meerkats truly extraordinary. She is not alone in this effort. The other members of the mob, called helpers, step up in a major way. These helpers, which can include older siblings, aunts, uncles, and non-breeding adults within the clan, take on the job of provisioning the mother. While she is underground caring for helpless pups and unable to forage efficiently for herself, group members go out, find food, and bring it back to feed her. They are literally sustaining the female who is sustaining the next generation. This kind of cooperative breeding, where non-parent group members invest real time and energy into raising offspring that are not their own, is relatively rare in the animal kingdom. Meerkats do it as a matter of course. It is baked into their social DNA. At around 10 to 14 days, something magical happens. The pups open their eyes for the first time. The world, faint and dim at first, begins to register. The sounds of the burrow, the soft chirps and calls of the group above, start to take on meaning. The clock is ticking toward their first glimpse of sunlight. At around 3 weeks old, The pups emerge above ground for the very first time. If you have ever seen footage of this moment, and I highly recommend you find some, it is genuinely one of the most heartwarming things in all of nature. These tiny, wide-eyed, wobbly little creatures tumble out of the burrow entrance and encounter the full sensory explosion of the world above. The light, the heat, the wind, the vast open landscape of the Kalahari stretching out in every direction. The adult meerkats crowd around them. Some stand sentinel immediately, because even now, even in this moment of joy, there are predators to watch for. Others stay close to the pups, offering warmth and reassurance. The pups are still nursing at this stage, still getting the majority of their nutrition from their mother. But something has shifted. Now they are observers. They watch the adults forage. They watch the sentinels scan the sky. They watch how the group moves, communicates, and responds to threats. Every moment above ground is a lesson, even before the formal teaching begins. Here is the section that, honestly, blew my mind the most when I first really dug into meerkat behavior. Because what these animals do next is something that we usually associate with humans and very few other species. They teach, not just modeling behavior and hoping the young pick it up. Active, deliberate, stage teaching, calibrated to the developmental level of the student. It starts with scorpions. Now, scorpions are a major food source for meerkats. They are also dangerous. Their venom can be painful and, in some species, deadly. So how do you teach a pup to hunt a scorpion safely? You do not just throw them at one and hope for the best. Adult meerkats, teachers, essentially, will catch a scorpion, remove or disable the stinger, and then bring the neutralized scorpion to a pup. The pup gets to practice the hunt, the pouncing, the pinning, the biting, all the physical mechanics of scorpion hunting, but without the mortal risk. The scorpion is helpless. The pup is safe. The lesson is real. As the pup grows more competent, the adults gradually increase the difficulty. They bring scorpions that are less disabled. They allow the pup to manage more of the encounter on its own. By the time a young meerkat is fully independent, it has been through a graduated curriculum of increasingly challenging prey, built carefully by the adults around it. Alongside hunting, the pups also learn predator recognition. Meerkats have distinct alarm calls for different types of threats. Aerial predators like eagles get a different call than ground predators like snakes. Pups must learn to read these signals and respond correctly. Get it wrong in the wild, and the consequences are fatal. This level of cooperative, intentional teaching is one of the things that makes meerkats so remarkable among non-human animals. It speaks to a level of social intelligence and community investment that is, by any measure, extraordinary. By the time a meerkat pup is 6 to 8 weeks old, they are beginning to forage alongside the group. They are still learning, still relying on adults for guidance and occasional handouts, but they are active participants in mob life now. They know the burrow network. They know the alarm calls. They are beginning to develop their place in the social hierarchy, learning who to defer to, who to groom, how to read the moods and signals of every member of their clan. Gradually, over the following weeks and months, they become fully integrated members of the mob. And here is the full circle moment that ties everything together. As they grow into adults, many of them will become helpers themselves. They will take their turn provisioning a pregnant mother, babysitting a new litter, bringing disabled scorpions to wide-eyed pups who are just beginning to understand the world. The cycle does not just repeat, it compounds. Each generation of well-taught, well-supported meerkats becomes the scaffold for the next one. What strikes me most about meerkats, what I keep coming back to, is how much their survival depends not on individual strength or speed or ferocity, but on each other. On showing up, on taking turns, on investing in the young even when they are not your own offspring, on teaching, carefully and patiently, the skills that keep the whole community alive. In a world that sometimes feels like it rewards only the strong and the solitary, there is something quietly powerful about watching a mob of meerkats work together in the Kalahari sun. They figured something out a long time ago, and honestly, we could all take a page from their book.
If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe. We go deep on animals' behavior, wildlife science, and the hidden lives of creatures like every day. Drop a comment below what animal should we cover next. Until then, stay curious. I'll see you in the next one.